made me think of a reading that I got from Dr. Iman, just a little part of it. And she helped me realize that I had, the relationship with my mom. It was even since birth, it was a feeling of, what's the proper word, of not being validated, right? Not being validated even in the womb because of what my mom went through. She had her own struggles, her being her own individual. And I almost lost my train of thought. And then I find myself connecting to that till today. I find myself asking Allah every second, are you upset with me? Are you okay? Like literally, with what I just did, are you upset? And I didn't even realize I was doing something wrong. He's like, wait, calm down. I know what's going on. My love isn't like that. You were making a conscious decision to not do the things that you did before. Yes, there's so many things that need to be uncovered. But I was constantly asking him, wait, are you still mad at me? Now you're still mad at me, but are you mad at me? Did I do something wrong? Every time I was like, wait, I don't think that was perfect. And he's like, no, mistakes are going to happen. They're just not going to exist. So we're going to deal with that. That does not mean I'm going to stop loving you. So to your point, what sis, I understand. It's just, and then when you find out he loves you, I'm like, oh man, I love you, man. I love you. I love that man. He is amazing. Praise be to Allah.
That's reminding me of are there any Muslims other than righteous? He says, I beg your pardon. I have never heard of one. And the way Minister Farrakhan explained how that doesn't mean there's no unrighteous Muslim. Look to your left, look to your right, look in the mirror. Those are unrighteous Muslims right there. However, Master Fard Muhammad begged your pardon. He pardoned us for what he already knew. And that actually reminded me of what the Christians, my whole life, what I understood that they taught, that Jesus died for our sins. And it's not, a man, Jesus came in the past and literally died so we could do whatever we want today. However, Master Fard Muhammad sacrificed his entire life. His entire existence is just for us, to serve himself up to us, to teach us who we are, to serve himself to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, so that he can serve himself up to us, so that Minister Farrakhan can serve himself up to us, so Sister Dr. Ava Muhammad can serve herself up to us, Mother Tynetta, and then we be inspired by them so we can serve ourselves up to us, to the entire righteousness within the world, striving for righteousness. And with what you're saying, the willingness is a word that is in the book that I'm reading, The Shack. That keeps coming up, that Allah is proud of us because of our willingness. And it's bringing me back to when I took that bath, and I was willing to take a bath on the new moon back in when was that, January or February? And I took that bath, and in the bath, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Master Fard Muhammad, one and the same, held my hand, and they gave me a big hug and just told me how proud they are of me. And I was like, I must have been seeing stuff. I don't know.
No, you won't, sis. Oh, no. No, you won't. They love their daughters who are striving. They love it. They love them. They want all of us, and they love the ones who are striving.
Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, family, to Tea Time Podcast by Atiya J. This is your self-help, spiritual podcast, uplifting topics we all love to avoid, but we definitely need to conquer. Tea time is your moment to pause, listen, and absorb what is soothing to you. I'm Atiya J, aka Tia, a certified holistic life coach, and this idea was sparked by my passion to help others discover their latent potential, purpose, and significance, especially if you are one who feels overlooked, alone, or forgotten. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. I see you and I feel you. Welcome to Tea Time Podcast. Enjoy the tea. Peace. Assalamu alaikum. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tea Time Podcast. It's your girl Tia, aka TT, Atiya J. and we are back after a long while with another episode of the podcast. I am very excited today to present the topic, Conquering Fear of the God in You. And wow, what a topic, right? We could do it. And I am happy to present my sister, Faith, who I am here speaking with in conversation today. And we're just going to chat. We're just going to chat, have a conversation about our experiences with the God in us, knowledge-wise, heart-wise, soul-wise, what that development has been, where we are right now, how we've gotten here. I'm looking forward to this conversation. And I would like to first begin, since you all know me, I'm, Atiya, life coach. I'm a Muslim, Black woman, a mother, a wife. I would like my sister Faith to introduce herself, who she is, where she's from, anything she wants to share for you all. And you are lucky to be listening to her, so you better tune in.
My sister, you're too kind. First, let me start out. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet my sister and her amazing podcast in the words of Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, ma'am.
So my name is Sister Faith. I am originally from Staten Island, New York. Shaolin, represent. I actually, around 18, I went to North Carolina, and around 20 years old, I started in the prison system. And over, I would say, after about a decade, I found out about the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And from then, I'm just your humble sister. From then, I have been asking Allah to work into my life. So today, I hope to share some wonderful experiences with my beautiful sister.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you so much, sis. Now, I'm excited. This conversation, as you know, has been a long time coming. We might parse through, I don't know if I'll add it to this episode, but bits and pieces of our conversation that was unreleased from before.
Yeah.
Yes. And in this, let me see. I am guided to ask, the God in you, what does that mean? What is this concept? Is that real? Is there a God in you?
Yeah, definitely real. I would have to be honest and say, sister, that's the journey that I'm on right now. Finding, even before knowing about the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I always saw the good in others and the good, great, wonderful qualities in others before seeing it in myself. So I've always been like that. And just recently finding out that actually started from birth, like, as we learn from How to Give Birth to a God from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the mother can imprint things on the child. So, and this is no shot to my mother, because I'm thankful for her. I'm thankful for her bringing me into this life, and I thank Allah for her. So I always had a struggle with that. And then fast forward to finding out about the teachings. Oh, it wasn't hard for me to understand that, see the God in the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Master Fard Muhammad. But I've been on this journey of discovering the God in me. So I would say that it's definitely real. And the only way that I'm really starting to see it is because I made a conscious decision to not just say I'm a member in the Nation of Islam, but to actually take part in changing my life. And then Allah is starting to open up things to me that shows me, sister, you are a God too. There's work that goes into that. There's things that you have to do to clean yourself up so you can see that, so you can believe in that, so you can walk in that. So I would say I do believe it. And I'm on that process. I do believe that exists in me, and I'm on that process of discovering it.
I want to put a pin in you saying, and thank you for your answer. Beautiful answer. You're literally bringing feelings and energy up in me that I'm going to tap into. And I wanted to also put a pin in how you said that there are things that you can do to clean yourself up, that you need to do to clean yourself up, to actually see that God in you. And as you were speaking, who said it? Who said it recently that I heard? I think it was Brother Youre. Brother Youre, in a clip that I saw, said, and forgive me if I'm attributing it to the wrong person, but I know I've heard it before. He said that the eyes are a part of the brain. So our eyes are a part of our brain, and they're the only piece sticking out. So our mind, a part of our mind that's sticking out. And you mentioned a lot how you saw God in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You saw God in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You saw God in other people, your brother, your sister. You can see and recognize that in other people, and I have a similar experience. However, the last person that we are able to see most often is ourselves. And I think there's something to just the biology, our makeup, how our eyes, what we're seeing, we're such visual beings as human beings. What we're attracted to certain things in other people, and we can see other things in other people. However, we don't see it in ourselves. And as you're speaking, I think that is on purpose, because Allah created us to be interconnected. He didn't create us to be looking at ourselves or looking in a mirror. That's why even in a mirror, we never will really see what we truly look like. It's always a reflection. However, when we can see the God in others and in you, I can see the God in you and you can see the God in me. Now we're creating a relationship, which, like you said, that's the journey. We're creating a relationship, inshallah, with the God within us. And the more I see it in you, the more you see it in me, the more I'm able to be who I am, and the more you're able to be.
That's beautiful, sis. Yes, ma'am.
That's what I actually had a huge revelation the other day, after meditation with Dr. Iman. Check her out. She's amazing.
Yes, shout out our sister. Definitely.
Shout out. Reiki.
Yes.
Yes. She, after the meditation, or was it during the meditation? I can't remember. But I started breaking down because a whole bunch of memories came up to me about who I am and the fact that Allah was with me each and every step in my life, from a child, from being a baby forward. How, like you were saying, my makeup with me in my mother's womb, how my mother has shared with me, she did everything correctly with me. Everything was square with me, but she didn't give me touch. She didn't give me hugs. She didn't give me love, because she was just so focused on doing the right thing with me. And these memories flashed up in my head and my heart, and it was Allah telling me how that's all on purpose. That was all on purpose. That was all for purpose. You would not be who you are right now today without each and every step. Nothing was a mistake. You did nothing wrong. Your mother did nothing wrong. I was there with you. I ordained it for that to be. And it literally made me break down and cry. Boo-hoo, cry out loud, because I was just in such gratitude for everything. Even a Quran verse that I took as chastisement from my mother. She would say, do you enjoin others to greatness and neglect your own soul? That's not the exact quote. And that Quran verse has been in me since I was a child. And I took that as kind of chastisement, that, I tell other people to do the right thing and I'm not doing the right thing. That's how she's using it against me. However, in that moment, I realized Allah rooted that in me, that verse, as a reminder of who I am. And it was solidified because I was listening to Brother Youre later that day, and he shared a story where a gay white man came up to him at one of his events, and he had several $100 bills in his hand. This was his conversation with 19 Keys. And he said, the man shook his hand and held it there, and he said, you know, brother, you really touch people that you wouldn't think that you touch, and I appreciate it. I'm one of those people. And he said that I do just want you to remember, though, that you can't save anybody else unless you save yourself. I noticed that you give out all of this energy, and you can't give energy for others without giving energy first to yourself. And he brought up the Quran verse, do you enjoin others to greatness and neglect your own soul? And I cried again because I said, yes, Allah, I get the message. How we're looking out all the time, looking for what we can do to others, and we neglect our own soul. And Allah did not shape us like that. Allah wants us to take care of ourselves. So that's not a chastisement. That's a reminder of who we are and self-care. I was finally able to see that. And I think that's part of the... Sorry, sis. But yeah, I think that's part of the cleanliness. That's part of the cleaning up of ourselves that you were talking about. But I apologize. Go ahead.
No, sister. It's beautiful. You're giving me what you said before, how everything was ordained. Sis, that struck something. That reminded me, you know, I had to be reminded from Master Muhammad as well. Like everything that happened to me, the circumstances of my birth, how I was raised, who I was raised by, what I was not taught, why I didn't know anything about the Nation of Islam, why I was not taught the true divinity of a woman, you know, and because of that, I led a life of self-destructive behaviors, right? All of those things, because there was no man in the household that would teach that. You know, there were men around me, you know, and they did the best that they could, but I did not know my divinity. All of those things that I went to ultimately would bring me to the point where I would not just say my prayers, that I would be like, Allah, I need to know that you're real. Like, I know you're a real man, I get it, but I need you to know you're real for me, you know? And all of those things I went to led me up into that point where now it's a beautiful journey of, you know, I can relate to the minister. It's a beautiful journey of falling in love with Master Muhammad. And he wants that with every single individual. And you hear the minister speak about it in the Swan Song, and he speaks about his relationship with the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And he says, like, this is not about being, you know, that way. Yeah. I understand, like, how do I want Master Muhammad? You know, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I want Master Muhammad in me. Like, I want people to see him when they see me every single day. And I would have never came to that. Because I probably would have never thought. I don't even know how to solve that equation. You know, all I know is everything that I went through, from the relationships that I chose, from the lack of self-care, everything. And this is not, sad time for sisters. No, it was a course that I was set on to, people could say you hit rock bottom. Yeah, that in some ways that is true. But that rock bottom, I was like, okay, I didn't try my way I made a post on Facebook. I would try my way about 5,800,000, some random number times. And I was just like, no more. I know my way is not the right way. And it led me into the arms of Master Muhammad. And that place, when you get and you know what I'm talking about, sister, when you get that relationship with that man, he makes it known that he is with you every step of the day, every step of the way. Every day I'm waking up to him. Every day, good morning, you know, assalamu alaikum rather, you know, Even in my dreams, he's speaking to me. I don't feel lonely. There might not be people around me. I might not be in a relationship, but I'm never alone, because he is actively in my life. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is in my life. And they send clear proofs, and they have once I decided to leave all the worldly things alone. I'm just so thankful for it.
When you left the worldly things alone, I think there's fear around doing that, because that means life isn't fun. So when you left those worldly things alone in your path, did you miss out on any fun? Did you lose your joy?
Sis, okay. Did I miss out on any joy? I would say no. The only reason why I'm saying no is because the circumstances under which would make me finally say, Allah, I need you. Like I was crying, like, pick me up in the wheel, Allah, take me from here out. Sis, I literally told the man, Allah is my witness. I told him I will scrub the toilets on the wheel. And anybody who is interested in the wheel, look, some of us want to go up there, and we willing to work with the holy angels. I love them. They with us all the time. I love y'all. Shout out to all y'all. I literally, in that moment, I was like, Allah, I don't want none of this. What I was doing in my life, what I was participating in, just a real toxic relationship, on both sides. And so at that moment, it was a decision I made for safety, for peace of mind. So I wasn't even thinking about, I don't get to do this, I don't get to do this. It was him. It was like when you see on TV and somebody is saved from a fire and the firemen put those thick black gray blankets around you and you're like sitting there. It was like that. It was his safety blanket. He's like, look, I'm here. I've been waiting for you to come. I've been here the whole time. I've been watching you. I knew all about you in your mother's womb, and I've been waiting for this moment, and I know that you're ready. So you asked me about missing out on fun. No, it wasn't like that. At that moment, it was like, Allah, save me from what I'm going through right now. And it would lead into going just to finding out things about me, finding out things, what do I like? Because I was really left with, your sister done jumped from relationship to relationship, without being too graphic. I personally never really knew who I was. Never really knew who I was outside of a relationship. So still on that journey, it's been about maybe, I want to say it's been about 14 months since I told Master Fard Muhammad, like, I'm all in. I'm tired of doing things my way. It's been about 14 months. And I'm still discovering who I am. So the fun part is now experiencing him, experiencing spiritual gifts, experiencing different things that I didn't even know I liked. So that's the journey I'm on now, sister.
Ooh, and I love that metaphor that you use, that Allah is the fire squad, the rescue squad. Came in with 3 blankets. I've been waiting for you to tell me you need some help.
Yes, I had to be willing. Ooh, that part.
And Mama Iyanla Vanzant, she uses that rock bottom metaphor a lot. I hear her say it when she talks about probably mothers a lot with their sons. You have to let them hit rock bottom. And I know I'm remembering it wrong, but in that metaphor, what I get out of it is that when you hit rock bottom, you meet the rock. That's a lot.
Oh,
hit rock bottom, meet the rock.
Yes, and boy, did I meet the rock. He was waiting.
And not that Samoan one with the eyebrow arch. Nah, you need
No. We
rock, the
love
one
our
that
brother,
made
but not
him.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love our brother, but not that way.
He's not gonna save us. He can't do it.
Yeah.
He would. I know he would in his heart, but he can't.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
But it's real. Beautiful testimony.
Praise be to Allah.
And in that, just I was born into the nation, and even in that, learning my divinity up in my head from birth, you could say, because my mom put it in me. She was very intentional about giving me the teachings, giving me and my sisters the teachings. So it was in me knowledgeably, not in my heart. I realized, just reflecting on my own journey, because I was taught my divinity in my head. I was always taught that you are God, child of the Most High. And I still had to go through my journey to know it. And I'm still going through my journey. Like you said, that's the journey of life, to know it in my body, to walk in that. A God is a being of force and power. I know that I don't walk in every part of my life as a being of force and power. When it comes to eating, I'm a God. I'm a being of force and power. I know I can eat. I know I'm going to lift that apple or that Cinnabon to my mouth, and I'm going to take care of business. I know that. I'm very knowledgeable. However, when it comes to my purpose, when it comes to even podcasting, even though I get so much accolades over it, or I get people asking me when the next one is coming, I have not applied my God force yet to that, because of perhaps issues with validation in my past, with the fear of, am I doing this right? Am I going to drop it? Is it going to fall? Am I going to break it? Are people going to judge me? Am I too vulnerable? Am I too this? So in that journey of me knowing since a child that, or being taught that I am a God, I rejected that. I rejected that as a woman. I rejected that as just in general. And I went off, and I had my own part of my journey where I'm doing what I want to do. I'm exploring what I want of the world. I'm tapping into what I think is fun. I'm tapping into what I think I need in the moment, because I've been held away from different things in my life that I'm seeing everybody else is able to get into, and they're okay, they're safe. So I stepped out into my own journey away from Allah. And in that path, being brought back to Allah in the different ways that I have in my life, rock bottom is such a blessing. Rock bottom is where you meet the rock. So I love that. And that's in everybody's story. And it's cyclical, because it's going to happen. I believe just a couple months ago, living in a hotel with my family, I reached another level of rock bottom. And that was following the instructions of Allah. And I'm hitting rock bottom in my head. And to reflect on it now, I'm so grateful for it. Because each time I slip and fall in my head, each time I go through something that's uncomfortable, that's scary, and I reach out to Allah, I'm blessed in a new way. I realize myself in a new way. I come into a new way of being in Allah. Inshallah. I pray that it's in Allah's way. And that's why we say our prayers as Muslims in the Nation of Islam. And what I'm realizing is that everybody has their connection to Allah, and everybody is entitled to their connection to Allah in the way that they come into contact with Him. And you so beautifully share your connection with me in our conversations. So my next question is, when did you realize your personal connection with Allah?
Oh, sister, I laugh because I swear, when I say precision, my tongue is twisted. Allah literally took me to the time, to the exactly what was going on. Like, I didn't have to say, scroll through my own mental Rolodex. He took me to the exact moment that he wants me to speak about. So I love myself moment. I would say that time would be when I was in a hotel room with my then husband, and I was sitting down, and I was just, asking Allah, like, I really want you in my life. I want to be taken up on the wheel. I want to leave here, because what I got going on, everything, like I said, on both sides. Sis, I'm looking up in the sky, and I start to see stars, the one star. I start to see one star move in a particular pattern. So I was like, what? Now I get it, the baby planes and stuff, and it's looking like a star, and it's just moving in the same motion. So next comes a thought to, maybe I should write these down, because it was like, one symbol was like, the number 0 or letter O. One was just like a straight line, and the thought was sent, write this down, get a book. I had my study materials, or I had a book and pen handy. So I opened up my book, and I sat down, and I just knew what to do. Not I just knew, the thought was sent, write this down. So I wrote it down, and it was a series of shapes, patterns, and I still have it to this day. And I remember writing down the first shape, and I looked back up to the star, and I said, is this right? And the star did like this, it moved up and down like this, and I shook my head, and I instantly knew that the communication was yes, it was right. And then later on, I would ask, and then it did like this, side to side, and my head did like this. I said, oh, so that means no. That night, sister, I literally wrote down a sequence of different patterns, and I have it. I got my receipts, okay? So the next time we had this conversation, I got it.
Yes. And
the people who are in doubt, if they got their relationship with Allah, they can go ask Allah. And if Allah wants to reveal it to them, yes, they ain't got no reason to lie, So I wrote it down, and I would add up the numbers, the 2 numbers I came up with. And this is before I knew too many surahs in the Quran. I came up with the number 35, and I came up with the number 26. First, number 35, I was like, I opened it up to the Quran. I just knew, I was like, wait, the thought was like, open the Quran to the 35th surah. And I was like, the originator? Oh, shoot. And then the other number, 26, that's my birthday as well. I share it with the Savior, February 26th. So I'm like, that's Mustafa Muhammad. Oh my God, like this can't be really happening. So, and it was happening. So I would say that evening, that weekend actually was the first time, and it actually put me on a course that I can honestly say, as of right now, that I have never left Allah. He's always there. We decide if we want to leave, but he has been there. I have been there with him, sticking by his side. I ain't going nowhere. And he just, so that is where everything started, and I'll leave it at that.
Beautiful. Ooh, thank you for that. And I love hearing that story, because I've heard that multiple times. And I heard it without experience, and to hear it again now with the experience of my own communication with the wheels, which for those of us who don't know, those are the so-called UFOs, UAPs, whatever they call it now. Those are the so-called. However, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that these UFOs that the government decides to call them are the wheels powered by and crafted by Master Prophet Muhammad, here to protect us, his people, God's people, here to make sure that nuclear wars do not happen. That's why you see reports you can see now on Facebook, anywhere. Go on YouTube and look up UFOs nuclear plant, and you'll see how the Wheels have multiple times stopped the ignition of nuclear warheads going out. Multiple times. So they keep watch over the affairs of the world and this world.
Yes.
And they are here for us to protect us, those of us who want to be in connection with Allah, who want to be in connection with God. They're not foreign. They were made in the islands of Japan. They're not foreign. So definitely do research on the wheels, and you can contact me. Of course, I can send you information. Look up Dr. Wesley, the wheels. You'll find an array of information. And of course, Minister Farrakhan and the wheels. So being in communication with our angels, with those sent to protect us. Did you ask the question, why me? What's up, everyone? I'm back. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. That was just part 1. Don't forget, I have other parts. Check them out on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening. Before you click out, do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast episode. Peace.